here. It feels a little intimidating. Maybe compare the wall there, which is what I like to do, like compare it to that plaza across the way. Feel better. Looks better, feels better, has a balance of space and structure. Architects know that. They design things like this sometimes to really give us a better feel. In a city that maybe looks, feels better than something like they've done over there. If nothing else, the plazas give us those necessary meeting places, much like parks in so many ways, so important for the city. We all have that rug in our homes that tie the room together. This ties the city together. To our left, past the Wrigley, is the Tribune Tower. Just past the Wrigley building, the one with that French cathedral top. Long, thin Gothic pinnacles, those spiky pieces, the shoulders or upside-down L's called flying buttresses up at the top. Those are meant to be load-bearing for Gothic cathedrals in Europe, and for that building, they're purely ornamental. They're meant to look good. The building was completed in 1925, designed by the architects Raymond Hood and John Mead Howells, who won an international competition in 1922 for the design of it. Now, there was a second place in the competition, an architect from Finland named Saarinen, and Saarinen's second place influenced the architect of that Art Deco building on the right. So you kind of compare the two, see which one you like better. First place, actual first place, or the play on the second place on the right. The name of this bridge is awfully important. This is the DuSable Bridge. This bridge is named after the first permanent non-native settler of Chicago. His name is Jean-Baptiste Pointe DuSable, a French fur trapper and trader from Haiti of African descent. He traveled throughout French Canada, the Great Lakes. We think around 1780 or so, he found his home where essentially this new Apple store is today. Seems fitting, he loved his iPhone back in 1780. The new Apple store just opened up in October of 2017, designed by the London firm Foster & Partners. You can see this glass box building. Low iron glass, that's why you can look right through it. Foster & Partners, same architects behind a thing called the Gherkin in London, their headquarters for Apple in Cupertino. The roof is made of carbon fiber. It was also designed to be an homage to Frank Lloyd Wright, a small nod to him. Again, hugging the flat landscape of our city. Those 4 marble columns help to support it from the inside. If you go inside the retail location, above your head there are micro-perforated wood panels that help to dampen sound, so you can actually have a conversation in the Apple Store, which is actually kind of hard to do. Go to Apple Store, it's pretty big, sound kind of bounces off everywhere, so some cutting-edge stuff there. You can see the University of Chicago Bleacher Center here. They just put in the University of Chicago logo there. But this is a school building. It was built in 1992 for the university. The bulges you're seeing right there are the back of the classrooms, the windows facing the river here. If you're a student here, you would get a great view from those bay windows of One Illinois Center, the 2 Miesian boxes on the right, designed by Mies van der Rohe towards the end of his career. Few people know it, but the architect behind the Bleacher Center is named Dirk Lohan, and Lohan is the grandson of Mies. The bay window was the tip of his hat to his grandfather across the river. To our left is the NBC Tower, peacock logo, white spire at the top. The building might look really familiar. It's made to look like 30 Rock in New York. Playful homage to 30 Rock, also a nod to Raymond Hood, the architect of both 30 Rock and the Tribune Tower. To our right, we'll start to see the Swiss Hotel. Past Columbus, the Swiss Hotel, triangle-shaped building designed by Harry Weiss, the architect behind those cottages we saw a little bit ago on the North Branch. So the nautical architect, the building here made to look like a sail on a sailboat. If you end up visiting the South Loop, walk around, you'll see the Metropolitan Correctional Center. It's a federal prison in downtown Chicago, designed by Harry Weiss too, a big triangle rising in the air. In 2012, 2 inmates escaped from the MCC using 80 bed sheets tied together. They were apprehended later on. One of those inmates actually sued the federal government a couple weeks later for negligence. Beneath the Swiss Hotel, the 2-level roadway called Wacker Drive. Wacker Drive is a part of that 1909 plan, too, by Burnham. Upper Wacker was designed for pedestrian traffic, Lower Wacker for city traffic. Municipal services, garbage, water, fire trucks. It's more efficient. And again, at a time when Chicago was very inefficient, growing too quickly. You can see this water cannon going off. It goes off every hour for about 5 minutes here, so we'll see this coming up. Part of a fountain, water fountain. The symbology, the symbol created here is fresh drinking water with that cannon going off every hour. The fresh drinking water of our city is provided to us by the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, an organization that was formed to really clean up this river. It was highly toxic, disgusting, polluted at the end of the 19th century. You'd often see dead cattle floating in the river back then. Dead horses from the stockyards. Small fires used to burn on the surface of the river. It gets worse. This river used to flow that direction into Lake Michigan. Lake Michigan is where our fresh drinking water comes from. Yum, we drank our own sewage, leading to cholera and dysentery and typhoid. So the people who fixed this problem, the Water Reclamation District. This is our centennial fountain, built 1989 to celebrate 100 years of the Water Reclamation District. What they did is pretty cool. They built a new canal. The canal is called the Chicago Sanitary and Ship Canal. It connects our river to the Des Plaines River, which flows into the Illinois River, and the Illinois flows into the Mississippi River further south. This canal took 11 years to build. After 11 years, it was done. On January 2nd, 1900, they opened it up, and for the first time in history, the water in our river began to flow backwards into that canal. So this canal operates like a straw. It sucks the river in reverse. Today, you've been on a river, one of the few in the world that is engineered to flow in reverse. It's one of the few in the world that does this. Thankfully, getting rid of our cholera, our pollution, our sewage, we gave it to St. Louis. Happy New Year. They were not so happy with us. Missouri sent us a lawsuit in 1906. More people sued us, including Great Lakes states. Great Lakes states like Wisconsin or Michigan sued us because we were stealing too much water from the Great Lakes. The litigation piled up. More people sued us. Eventually, in the 30s, we handed over control of that canal to the Army Corps of Engineers. They control the river today. They make sure Illinois can't divert too much water from the Great Lakes by way of lock systems. So ahead of us, the Chicago Harbor Lock. Past the bridge here, the lock operates like a valve, making sure Chicago, or rather Illinois, can't divert too much water from the Great Lakes. And it's important. The Great Lakes make up a fifth of the surface freshwater of the world. To our left is a fidget spinner building, the black building, a curve to it, disc at the top, or the fidget spinner. This is Lake Point Tower. It was built in 1968 by two students of Meese at IIT, George Shipwright and John Heinrich. Lake Point Tower is designed for water views, also designed for wind bracing. The strong winds, we can feel it right now, comes off Lake Michigan, which actually right now isn't too bad. I kind of like it. Nice to feel that wind. Now, the disc at the top does not revolve. Get that question sometimes. It does house a very nice French restaurant called Cité. This is French for very expensive. The view is impeccable, I will say that. They are building what could be a new public park eventually, DuSable Park, right to our left here. Named after that first Chicagoan, the father of our city, DuSable. But currently what they're building is a new Navy Pier flyover. You can see the